There are many things that there are many researchers that have been done on the top reason why startup fail, and there are huge amount of graphs and data that had been collected. If you don't like graphs, you also have plenty of infographics that you can look at, and each one of them have like humongous amount of reasons why those venture startups, whatever the vertical, the funding stage, failed. During the presentation, I actually found like one that is extra simple, where you can see that Mike has a business idea, build a product, try to sell, product doesn't sell too much, out of cash, and the startup close, okay, which is quite trivial and common. One of the researchers is one that was conducted by CB Insight, like what are the top reasons the startup actually failed. They interviewed more than 1,000 startups around the globe to keep it as generic as possible and as clean as possible. So the first reason is timing. There might be like no market need. Okay, you might develop a product that nobody actually needs. There might be like a strong competitor already owning a huge part of the market, a huge part of the of the geography, a huge part of the value proposition that you're looking to offer. The product it might be mistimed, might be too early or too late to the market. Premature scaling, again, in that case, it could be you might have launched a product, it become viral too fast, and suddenly the technical infrastructure couldn't sustain it, or your business model or your team at this point in time, and it simply crashed the venture. And then obviously you have like trends on verticals. You need to make sure that the venture that you're building is relative to the market and verticals that is looking to serve. And the best way to actually cope with that kind of challenge of, how do we address, the timing aspect as a big reason for why startup failing, is honestly just do the market research. So doing that market research, validating the vertical, validating the right timing, the geography, that would probably be the best thing to kind of reduce the risk of timing. Now, the next reason that we saw over there is funding. Okay, so over here, like there is no secret. Like the financial aspect might be, a very boring aspect of the venture, right? It's not as excited as the idea or the work on the product or the development side or talking to the customers, but then you need to invest time in that. Now, many startups simply call out as running out of cash as the main reason why their venture is failing. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be from VC. It can also be that they fail to invest enough of developing relevant revenue stream. And this is why you as entrepreneurs need to figure out how to do that delicate balance. Like, if I'm investing right now all of my resources to recruit money, or I'm going to invest my resources of recruiting more customers and building and generating more revenue stream. And of course, there's no right or wrong answer. You just need to be aware of that trade-off and ensuring that you address it. Switching to the idea and the product. Now, in this case, we start with a product, we start with the idea, we're super excited about the potential that it has, but then we often try to develop the product without really validating the idea or investing in the product itself. So over here, there's a really critical property that everybody needs to know, which is customer acquisition value. It's basically mean like, what is the value that your product is saving for the customer? Often that would be the price that they're willing to pay for the product, and that's what should ideally be the price target of your product. And this is why I basically emphasize that when you deploy your MVP, like your minimum valuable product, that V part, the value part, it has to be there. It doesn't have to be like a fully blown feature, but it couldn't be a product that's like half baked or still doesn't cope enough value in it for a customer to actually use it. So be sure that you have the right value proposition for your product before you launch it. The next is the business model. So within the business model is that a good product and a good idea doesn't equal a good business model. So you need to make sure that you invest the time of building your strategy. Take the time to do the canvas. There's a huge amount of theory that you can and practice that you can actually implement on lean startup methodologies. It is also like a critical aspect. Try to make sure recognize the risk that you have for the business model, not only for your product, not only for the feature. So this is also like a critical aspect of figuring out what are the business milestones that you're going to experience. That could be anything from meeting the amount of customers you're looking to reach, the market that you're looking to open, the recruitment, and so on. This brings me to the team. So team is by far like the one aspect that you probably have the least amount of control, because again, it's something that is evolved. There's a couple of people, there are a couple of dynamics over there that are working in at the same time. So a few things to say about the human aspect of building your stuff. So the first one is like the lack of passion. You would be amazed how purely depressing it can be, of getting like no after no after no from customers, from investors. There's also big stress maybe on the personal life as well. So there's a huge amount of pressure on that aspect, and that can obviously reduce motivation. Next one is you just might not be the right team. So as you're evolving your ventures, there's a good chance that founders will grow apart. Some of them will not see eye to eye. At some point, it could be that one founder will become the manager of the other. And honestly, like today, there are professionals that help founders similarly as they help marriage couples and marriage therapy. So those services are actually out there to work and to mitigate any kind of issues that might raise between founders. So just kind of to conclude some of the things is that, first of all, if you're building a venture, and there's a lot of risk, and you should be aware that 90% of the startups will fail. Try to do it as fast as possible. Try to run as fast as possible. Build the right value proposition. Put it in the hands of the customer. They will most often have the most answer to any kind of doubt or question that you probably have. Ensure that you have the right team in place that are sharing your vision and your view. Raise smart money. Money today is relatively accessible, so just be sure to recruit the right money from the right venture, and then avoid distraction and make sure that you invest your time, your resources, your attention in the right things, whether it be on product development, customer acquisition, funding. Know that these kind of aspects and these kind of activities has trade-offs between them, and just be sure that you're balancing that equation and aware of that. Thank you very much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the presentation.